Guys, we made it. It's crazy to think about it, but we have made it to the last song of our discography series with Tool. This is kind of insane because I feel like this has been a long time coming. This took me a long time to record. So it's crazy to think that I'm finally on the last album. Also, thank you to everybody who has watched up until this point because, you know, with Tool, we've had some ups and we've had some downs. You know, I didn't really know what to expect in coming into listening to Tool, but the last 4 albums were just so, like, I kind of got the idea, but then it kind of switched a little bit. It was all too much. I don't want to go into how I feel about all the other albums, because what we are going to do for this episode is going to listen to the entirety of Fear Inoculum, which is the 5th album for Tool. And then after that, I'm going to give a review of my entire experience in listening to Tool's discography for the very first time. So I think we're going to go ahead and get into it. Because we got a lot to cover. We got a lot to cover. Our 5th studio album is Fear Inoculum. It was released August 30th, 2019. We almost missed the 5-year anniversary of this album. But yeah, came out on August 30th, 2019, and is an hour and 26 minutes long. Tool, please release us. Release us. I will say, in pulling up the track list for this album, one of the really cool things that I noticed about it is on the CD version, there's only 7 songs. On the digital release, there's 10. So they like added like 3 songs into the digital release. And they're not even like 3 songs after the fact. They're like 3 songs sprinkled within the track list, which I thought was very interesting. So yeah, we'll go ahead and get a either way. Let's go ahead and get into it. All right. First track of the last album for Tool. God, it feels so weird. All right. First track is the title track for the album, Fear Inoculum. Let's go ahead and listen. This is a cello? Distant clapping? What is this, Tears for Fears? One thing about Tool is they finna put some Congo Bongo on that shit. I can already tell the mixing on this album is gonna be better because I can clearly hear the lyrics. For some reason, his voice sounds a lot more mature in this, but he's been a grown man for the entirety of this discography. the drum in there, I always call it the water bending drum because that's what it sounds like to me. Drum solo? Drum solo? I'll take a bass solo, that's fine. Yeah, I was wondering when that cadence was gonna come in.
Exercise the spectacle, exercise the melody, exercise the disparate poison for eternity. Purge me and evacuate the venom and the fear that binds me.
Okay. Okay. Oh, that was a good guitar riff right there. Okay. It's not my favorite Tool opener. It's not. I also, okay, for that first song, and I mentioned this in like past episodes, the mixing, and I also had this conversation with like a sound engineer as well. The mixing for the earlier like 1996 albums and the early 2000 albums, they aren't done well. The mixing is not done well. This album, you can absolutely tell is it was done in 2019 because the mixing in how things are layered, where they positioned certain sounds, is a lot better. I'll just say that in the first song song. Hopefully that continues throughout the whole album though. I will say that. It's not my favorite Tool opener. It's fine. It could have been better. The drums need to be punchier to me. Like I need to feel the drums. The bass was there. The drums were not. Like they were there. I mean, it's fine. It's not my favorite Tool opener. We'll just leave it at that. Next song is Pneumonia. No, it's not. Pneuma. Pneuma. That's the next song. One thing I've always really liked about Tool is how they're willing to kind of experiment with like different sounds and incorporating into their songs. This is proving to be very much that album. Eminem's 8 Mile? Yeah, one shot. One opportunity. Sorry. Bro, they love this drum cadence, bro. Let's go.
We are the spirit bound to this.
God, the mixing is so much better.
We go around, one foot nailed down, bound to reach out and beyond this flesh, become pneuma. We are will and wonder about you. Recall, remember, one breath, one word, one spark, sun becoming.
Okay. Let them know. Whoop. Let them know. Okay. Okay, the drums kind of went crazy there. The drums kind of went crazy. All right, I see it. I see the vision.
Child, wake up. Child, release the light. Wake up now, child. Wake up. Child, release the light. Wake up now, child.
Bro. These parts are where this song shines. The drums go crazy on this track, bro. I love how the guitar sounds right here. It's like just the right level of distortion. Okay, call back. Like, this has the punch I wanted. Okay. Oh, we're back in it. So sorry. We are back in it. Got it. Okay. That had exactly what I needed. I just feel like in Fear Inoculum, especially for that to be the title track of the doggone album, that just did not punch enough. This punched enough. Like, it had its moments, but like that in between after the chorus, like that hit hard. And then the drums are actually able to shine in the song too. Not that this should have been their like opener for this album, but I like that one better. I like that one better. That was like a little chanty, a little, you know. No, chanty's all I got. That was, that's all, you're trying to find another word. Chanty's it. Chanty is pretty much it. I really like that one. Again, not like it should have been the opener, but like, I feel like that punched a lot harder than Fear Inoculum. So, all right. Next song in the album is something French that I'm not even going to try to pronounce. It says here the direct translation of the song title is Litany Against Fear. And that's all I'm going to say, because quite literally, I can't speak French and I'm not going to act like I can. What we will do, because it's, I went to the lyrics for this song and it says the song is an instrumental. So what we'll do is we'll listen to the song, and if I feel like talking about it, there's like stuff in it, I will. If not, I'll just go ahead and transition to the next song. Okay. So this song is Litany Against Fear, and then the next song that will fall after this is Invincible. Here Tool go with some weird shit. Had to happen. Happens every album. Oh yeah? Oh yeah? Yeah, Tool? It wouldn't be Tool if there wasn't one song with some weird shit. It just wouldn't be. Not one album shall go without it. Good job, Tool. Good job. All right, we're just gonna go straight into Invincible. It's gonna play right after this. I like this so far. I like the note choice for this. Okay. I can get behind this. Okay.
Longing truth and soul, longing for another wind. Lurching to the fray, weapon out and belly in. A warrior struggling to remain consequential. Low, loud, bold and proud of where I've been. But here I am.
I really like the pacing of this so far.
A tale told of battles won, of things we've done. Caligula would grin,
Caligula!
beating tired bones, tripping through remember when. Was invincible, now the armor's wearing thin. Heavy shield down.
Yeah.
Warrior, struggling to remain relevant. A warrior,
Let's go.
struggling
Come on, drums.
to remain
Uh-huh.
consequential. Crying aloud.
Yeah. Boy, they shot in the moments, bro. Oh my god. Yeah. The drums sound really good here. Oh. Yeah. Let him know, boy! Yeah. My God. Oh. No, let's switch it up. Yeah, that's fine. Woo! Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Bro. Yeah. That had, so first of all, the lyric structure in that song is like, quintessential Tool. I feel like sometimes they go to like preachy. I feel sometimes they go to just like talking to you. This is like quintessential Tool in terms of like how, how the lyrics are conveyed. Like the pacing of it is absolutely it. The doggone drums in this. The drums in this one insane. Like the first song did really well. This one really did well. It's the same punchiness I would have just had if you would have just put it in Fear Inoculum, the first doggone song, Tool. Yeah. No, this was it. The transitions also to it are, because here's the thing. Here's the thing. The thing that Tool does very well sometimes is that in songs very much like this one, Invincible, they'll do a freaking 13-minute song, but the way that it transitions from one thing to the other still keeps you engaged in the song. So like, even though it's 13 minutes, it kind of feels as if it's like 6 or 7, you know what I mean? And so sometimes they do that and it's a miss. I feel like in this song, it was spot on. They did really well in this one. Yeah, I like this. Also at the end where they're, you know, like the outro to the song where they're punching you with the distortion of the guitar and then they're hitting you with like the punchiness of the toms, that little bit of like bass delay, like it's almost like a callback to each other. Oh yeah, that was good. That was good. Usually I hate when Tool does a 1,000-minute song. That was really good. That was really good. All right. Next one is Legion Inoculant. I feel like half of the time they just be making up words, bro. Half of the time they just be like, what are 2 words we can put together? Okay. Next one. Legion Inoculant. Oh, is this another instrumental? Does this feel like another instrumental? Oh, the 808s are going crazy! I have nothing to say for that one. We're gonna go ahead and go into Descending. I know I said another instrumental. Okay, we got a water theme. Okay. Okay, okay.
Come hour and suddenly all hail
The drums are really shining in this album so far. Ooh, the bass has like some really good distortion on it here. Okay. The guitar feels so crisp here. Oh, they cut the fuzz all the way up on that guitar. Once again, the drums are going crazy. Oh, he's hitting the hell out of that crybaby pedal. Okay. Okay. That, honestly, I feel like my review for that song is definitely going to be the same as like Invincible. Like, so far, it seems like the drums are 1000% shining in this. And I feel like in the past, like the drums, like they're there, but they're not like highlighted. And a lot of the songs they are. And a lot of the songs they are. I feel like so far, and I feel like we're like, what, 6, 7 songs in? It's like they specifically we're like, yeah, the drums are great and we've talked about them before and we've highlighted them before, but here it is again, just so you thought that this wasn't going to be a thing. Yeah, no, I see it. I will say, just like I said in the other one, there's times where Tool will do a 15-minute song and they do it well. With this one, this song was 13 minutes and 37 seconds. And I feel like they could have produced and communicated the same thing instrumentally in 10 minutes. Some would say 8. There's sometimes they do a 13-minute song and it's great. There's sometimes when they do it and it loses me a little bit. It's like this could have been shorter. Give me like 10 minutes, Tool. All right. Next song is Culling Voices. Am I even saying that right, bro? Culling, Culling Voices. Cooling. All right, them voices are next. Okay, the opening sounds to this were so distant that I thought that was in my own house. Wait, where is that? But maybe that's actually outside.
Disembodied voices deep in mind, suspicious tendencies, conversation we've never had, imagined interplay, psychopathy. Don't you dare point that at me. Heated altercations we'll never had, so I'm told, yet guided by them all. Every single
I like that.
Don't you dare point that at me. Don't you dare point that at me.
Oh, I like this. Yeah. There we go. The bass sounds really good. Like the bass sounds like it has a lot of depth. Okay. Calling Voices is probably the saddest song so far. I feel like the other songs that we have listened to on this album thus far have been very, like, I don't know. Like, I feel like this had a different tone than the rest of the album, but then, like, not quite. Like, this seems more introspective. I feel like in the other songs, he's talking to us and everyone. And then this song seems like he's talking to himself. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? It's like the other ones, he's conveying that communication to us as the listener. And this one, it's like he's wrestling with something in himself. Like he's talking to himself in this in this album or in this song. This one definitely seemed more depressing. This one seemed a little bit more depressing for sure. This was the sadder one. There is, even in the instrumentals itself, it was like a little slower BPM. It was the guitars, like the bass and everything was very like lulling, and it just felt more, you know what I mean? I don't know how else to kind of get that across, but it definitely seemed more like this one was very more introspective. This one seems a lot more like he's talking to himself and kind of wrestling with himself in a way. That's kind of what I've gotten from this song. This one seems sad. Mr. Tool, are you all right? You okay, Mr. Tool? All right. Next one. We're almost towards the end. Chocolate Chip Trip. What's this about to be, Tool? What's this about to be? Chocolate Chip Trip? Okay. All right. No, this is fine. Okay. Apparently, this is an instrumental. So we'll listen to it. Because this is an instrumental, we'll probably go ahead and listen to that and then go into the next song, which is Seven Tempest, I'm guessing is how we're supposed to pronounce that. Okay, listen to Chocolate Chip Trip. We'll listen to Chocolate Chip Trip, which is an instrumental. We'll flow into Tempest. Let's go ahead and do that. All right, here's Chocolate Chip Trip. Oh, the pan on that is weird. Okay. A random gong in that is totally fine. Mm-hmm. Okay, I know I said that we were just gonna go into Tempest, but hold on. But hold on. First of all, anytime that there is an instrumental on a doggone Tool track, I never know what to expect, to be honest, because I feel like their instrumentals are like their like interludes or whatever. It's more so of them experimenting with a sort of sound, and that sort of sound can't necessarily, well, I won't say can't. They typically don't put in what they experiment with in these interludes into actual songs. And I feel like in the last couple of records, they have experimented more with the electronic and more industrialist element of music. Not necessarily in this one. I haven't really heard industrialism in this record yet, as of right now. But usually it'll be like some type of electronic, experimental, sounds that they're putting together. They don't usually put an actual instrument to it. And I want to say, this is the first time that they've actually properly given the drums, just been like, listen, we got this weird like element thing. Do you want to do like a little drum solo to that? Cool. Press record. So it's like, this is like the first one where they were just like, dude, go crazy. This is all you. This is all you. Also, you never know. It's like Russian roulette with doggone Tool instrumentals. You never know if they're actually going to freak you out or it's just going to be some random shit that they decide to put in the song. I can appreciate that one. Okay, next is Tempest. And I'm ready. I'm ready. Oh, I like this already. Let's go, baby. Let's go, baby. Come on, Tool. Show them who you are, boy. Catch him in that line, Mr. Tool. Let's go, baby. Okay. What is that? What is that? Oh, I want to know what that symbol is. It's gotta be with the one with the holes in it. Y'all know what I'm talking about. They went crazy as hell on this song, bro. I like how they did the lyrics there. It's like he was singing the main line, but his like backing vocals were finishing it for him. I really did like that. Yep. I have come to the conclusion that my favorite Tool is when he's angry and bitter. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. As soon as that started, I was like, we're back, baby. We're in it. We're in it. Honestly, that might have been my favorite. I don't know. I really like that one. I really like that one. That was another 15-minute song. But honestly, it didn't feel as if it was like, it didn't feel like the other one. And I already forget which one I talked about before, where I was like, this is kind of a miss on like having a long song. This one was long, but like maybe only a couple elements, could have been tightened up. Really, that's really it. But honestly, lyrically wise, I just like angry Tool. Maybe, I think I just like angry Tool. I don't know. Okay, let's do, this is the last song on the record. Guys, it's the last song on the record. And then we're done. It's been a time. It's been an honor. Okay. All right, this last song is called Mocking Beat. It looks like it's an instrumental, so we'll go ahead and get into it. Tool, I swear to God, you haven't done it yet, but if you do an instrumental that creeps me out, I swear to God, I won't listen to another song. I swear to God, I won't do it. All right, here's Mocking Beat. Here we go. Well, that was Mocking Beat. I don't know what to say. Well, guys, man, we are at the end of our Tool discography listen. First, let me go ahead and give my review of like the album in itself. Okay. This album, this album had interesting elements to it. It's not my favorite Tool album. No, it's not. My review of Fear Inoculum is that I liked a lot of the elements that they put in this. There was a lot of, it's typical Tool. Tool sit there and, experiment with stuff kind of added to, you know, their instrumental tracks, kind of like I said before. They'll add the things that they kind of want to experiment with in their instrumental tracks. They'll do a little bit in their actual songs. You know what I mean? And I feel like those, you know, those really, you know, let's try this out, let me just mess with this, those weird elements are what makes Tool Tool. You know, besides the fact that, you know, the lyricism and, you know, their cadence and how they do their songs and things like that. Like the cadence is like signature Tool. I feel like that is their signature in itself in terms of like songs. And so that kind of theme carried along with this album for sure. That being said, I really think the only song that I really liked all the way through was probably Tempest, to be honest, but I think there's a reason for that. I think there's a reason for that, even though that's a 15-minute 44-second song. Tool, please. Tool, please. So yeah, Fear Inoculum was fine. It wasn't my favorite. I would probably say this was probably my least favorite, if not like bottom 2. But I want to say this is probably my least favorite. I think that the tracks that I really liked the most were Tempest and probably Invincible, if I'm remembering correctly. Hold on, let me just play it back 1 second. Yeah. That was it. Like, those are my favorite tracks. Fear Inoculum, which is the title track of the album, that wasn't its strongest, you know, opener. The second song did a lot better. The second song was so punchy. Like, Pneuma was very, very punchy. It was very, very chanty as well. And so like, it's, you know, I'm still kind of, I don't know. Like, I really like it, but I don't really love it. So Fear Inoculum in itself, it's not my favorite Tool album. Like I said, it's probably least favorite, if not bottom 2. However, I will say that this is probably the best mixed album that they have by far. You know what I mean? Like when we listen to their other, like when we listen to Undertow, right? One of the things that you have to understand with that is like, you know, Undertow and Enema were done in the 90s. The compression of the songs was kind of terrible. And so the mixing didn't really get to shine because the final product is crunched down to like this format that's actually transmittable. You know what I mean? Plus, when you're talking about your very first album, like Undertow, the album is definitely trying to like prove itself, but you are not given the resources to really make it a pristine album when you're talking about your first. Because if you think about it as an artist that is being signed to an album for the very first time, they are giving you minimal resources because they don't know how much they can really, you know, put into your band and how much resources and financial resources they can put into your band without knowing what the outcome is going to be. Like they can listen to like an EP and think, yeah, this is going to be successful. But honestly, especially during that time, you really don't know what's going to be successful. Like music in itself is so volatile that you really just don't know. You could put out something that you believe is, you know, true to what is like on the cutting edge of what people are listening to now, but then that could fall flat. And so on their first album, I can understand why it sounds the way they do, why the songs sound the way they do. The second album, it's like, you know, they established what the, you know, established who they are. They got a little bit of a following. The record label's able to put a little bit more resources in it because they understand what the outcome is going to be, because now you've kind of solidified yourself, right? But even those two are not mixed well, but that, you know, again, when you think about the times that it was actually done, you can't really expect it to be pristine quality. So the fact that this was done in 2019, the fact that Fear Inoculum was done in 2019, really shows the capability of what you're able to produce when you have a lot of resources, when you have really good engineers, and when you're able to put out the song in a format that does not squish everything down, so you can clearly hear the vocals, the drums, the guitar, the bass. This by far was one of their best mixed albums. But again, that has to do with the time that all the other albums were released. This is also like their album done in like a while. I think like 10,000 Days was released in 2006. Yeah, 2006. And then this one was released in doggone 2019. So there's been a long, a long time and a long lull from album to album. So yeah, I think in terms of like what I liked about Tool in my first listen ever, I feel like now that I've listened to the entire discography, one thing that I definitely like about Tool is the angriness. Like, angry Tool, I can take all day. Give me angry Tool. Like, when he's upset, when he has anger in his heart, when he's bitter, somebody has done him wrong, he is telling somebody off, he's putting somebody in their place. That I found is the Tool that I like. The Tool that is kind of introspective, that is kind of thoughtful, that is kind of like, you know, thinking outside of ourselves and thinking about the world around us and how that reflects onto us. I still like it, but it's not the Tool that I really appreciate. And plus I appreciate the actual rock elements in Tool and when they lean into that, but they don't seem to be consistent with that in their songs, which is something that I can appreciate in terms of Tool as an artist. You know what I mean? Like, they're not your typical rock band that's just going to put out a rock album. They are going to add some of those elements that are very experimental, or they're going to, you know, do, you know, a 10-minute instrumental in the middle of a song. That kind of leads over to my other point. I feel like the way that they make their music is very interesting in that they don't expect the lyrics to tell the whole story. I feel like the lyrics definitely drive home the tone, but they allow the, you know, the instruments, the guitar, bass, drums to really drive home the emotional aspect of the song, whether it be, you know, the thoughtfulness, the introspectiveness, the anger, the bitterness. Like, they translate that very, very well in their instrumentals. So it's like, even though it's a 15-minute song, most of the time they're able to still keep you, you know, activated or kind of seek your attention in it, because it's driving home the initial emotion of the song. And I feel like that in itself is quintessential Tool as well. I get it. Now that I have listened to the entire discography, I understand that that's just how Tool is. Like, that's just who Tool is, like, as a band. But yeah, did I enjoy all of it? I honestly did. I enjoyed this listen because Tool is definitely, well, I won't say definitely outside of my wheelhouse. This type of rock band is a little bit out of my wheelhouse in terms of the instrumental and experimental side of it, for sure. Like, I'm into rock bands and stuff like that, but Tool is definitely the first that I have really dived into in that sector of rock, if that makes any type of sense. My favorite Tool album, I kind of want to say, oh God, are the Tool fans gonna be mad at me if I say this? I feel like my favorite Tool album is between the first and the second one. It's between Undertow and Enema. I think those are my top ones. I think once you kind of get into Lateralis, Lateralis just didn't grab me as much as I would have thought it would. Like, it was very, like, I enjoyed it, but I think I enjoyed the first two albums more because, again, I think that highlighted angry Tool. Like, Lateralis really took a little bit of a shift in terms of the tone kind of stayed the same, but the lyrics and the emotion behind the song definitely graduated towards a little bit more of the enlightened part of Tool. You know what I mean? So I think Enema and Undertow were probably my two favorite albums. They also had really good openers, if I remember. And I wish I literally looked at my phone because I took notes while I did those, and now I don't have those notes anymore, so I'm really upset. But yeah, I really think that, yeah, I stay with that. Enema and Undertow. I don't really know which one of those I would pick as like top. If I had to guess, actually, no, I'll pick Enema, and I'll tell you why. And I tell you why. Doggone Undertow with their last song of that record, Disgustipated, bro. If you watch that episode, I was done. I was so upset. I was so upset because, mind you, this, like, Undertow was their first album. Disgust-ipated was the first song that they ever did that was gonna be 15 minutes long. And doggone 10 of it was crickets in the doggone night. Like, the album in itself, I liked. The fact that they ended it with that made me rage. It made me upset. So I will actually say Enema is probably my favorite Tool album. I'll go ahead and say that. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. I am glad that I was recommended this because it definitely tapped into a lot of the elements that I like when it comes to rock artists and rock songs, but it had that little extra, the little boop boop that kind of made it its own thing. So now I can definitely appreciate Tool for like what it is. And I feel like Tool in itself kind of introduced a lot of cool elements that I'm sure a lot of rock bands that we know now that came a little bit after Tool definitely kind of pulled from and kind of integrated into their own sound and paid a little bit of homage to Tool. So guys, that is it. That is it. If you have watched this entire series, I absolutely appreciate you. This was definitely a wild ride. I'm glad that you found it entertaining enough to watch all 5 episodes because, man, we had some ups, hey, and we had some downs, amen. But honestly, this was a great time. This was a great listen. I'm very happy that I started with Tool. And now we're just on to bigger, better things. So like always, put down in the comments what you believe is probably the best song off of the Fear Inoculum album, and then let me know what your favorite Tool song is in general, because now we finished it. So now when you put, 4 degrees, I'll be like, yeah, I know that one. Yeah, I know. Like always, please like and subscribe. It does the best for this channel. And we have a lot of different ideas that are gonna come up after this. So guys, I absolutely appreciate you. Thank you so much. And leave me some feedback. Let me know in the comments what artist you think I should do next. I have some stuff in mind, but I'm open to suggestions. I'm open to suggestions. Like always, guys, I hope you have a great day. Have a great rest of your week. All right. And I will see you in the next one. Again, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me during this series. It's been an absolute blast. Yeah, I'll see you guys later. Bye.